When last we left our adventuring heroes.
Perfect. When last we did leave them, they were
In
at that
trouble
tower.
against King Piccolo. Krillin had died.
No, we don't. We don't want copy strikes. Relax.
Revivify.
Yeah, we did that, but he still was Namekian, but it was a whole different thing. Um, the so it kind of gets to the question of what do you guys want to do at this point? Because you have taken over, and I think you guys can see, well, if you jump into roll 20, not that it's super important, because it's just the world map where you guys had been and where you had been moving on to. And that kind of would give us at least a visual for what we are doing, and at least kind of what the world is that you guys are dealing with. But as far as what your next plans were, it is up in the air and up to you guys at this point. Kind of like, are there thoughts as you guys take over the city? And it doesn't have to be like specifics. It's like, oh, well, we're going after this specific king. You don't necessarily know that. But maybe as you start to expand your influence and everything, those are things that you or your character would know. I so that's something that we can talk about of if that's something that your character might know, then let's get your character knowing that and figuring these things out. But it's kind of up to you guys in which direction we want to push this at this point. Any thoughts?
I just opened up the map. I just love that we're just known as Party.
Right. Hey, if you have a better name,
Oh no, it
I can
wasn't. It wasn't
easily.
knocking what we're labeled
Oh,
as.
I
It's just chuckling at the name. That's all.
absolutely. But I'm just saying, if you guys have a different name, classic.
I don't know, Dolan. What's your ideas? What's your plan for us?
Hmm.
Tinker's a humble goblin that just needs to know he
Yeah.
has a prison cell to go to at night.
Well, no, he already knows that. I
That's his
think that
comfort.
what he needs to know is that he's not going to end up there, but he already knows that he will.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, the koi games you play. I mean, you guys have taken over Hector Say. You had traveled down into this area of kind of this unknown, not unknown, but kind of tamed white area on the map. It doesn't have anything where there is any sort of ownership of it, and you can see that that's part of some other islands as well, or if it's not even necessarily islands, it's part of this island that you guys are on. There's some separate ones that aren't claimed at all. This is tied into here. I think that's the only one that it kind of borders with land other than what you guys have here. Other than that, it's mostly just the separate islands, some large, some smaller, but nothing that's claimed. But that's just kind of setting the scene on where you guys are. But is there anything your characters are specifically looking to do now that they've taken over with the city or anything like that?
I'm not able to get into Roll20 yet. I will hopefully be able to do that later, so I'll be able to see what you're talking about in regards to location. But
I am sharing if you can see it on Discord.
okay. But Coney, I don't think was really interested in claiming territories. I think her big thing is business, and and not necessarily like above ground business, but then also underground business, and extending connections to be able to move things that you don't want known that are moving, um, and trade routes to be able to do that. Um, Essentially, her aim is to have power through money and influence and information. Information is really big for her. So, gaining information on people and being able, like, not necessarily taking over territories. Of course, we have what we have, and we're going to use what we have. But and for her, that would be sort of a natural progression. She's going to, you're just going to kind of keep accumulating territories and lands, not because you have to conquer them necessarily overtly.
Yeah, let
Uh,
someone else build it and then you sneak in and occupy.
right, in whatever way, whether that be,
Right.
uh, you get the reigning person sent to the asylum and have navigated, control over the territories or whatever, like whatever. But so I think that would be her goal. Her goal would be to continue to grow and exploit all kinds of businesses and all kinds of people and all kinds of information. I don't remember her alignment,
It,
but
none of you were
I can
good.
I can see that later.
I think
Because
what you mean
like
is none of
ultimately,
us are. We are great. We're not good. We're great.
right. Yeah, you
I
guys are
thought
all
with
Tony the
I
Good.
was thinking this was an evil aligned party, but I couldn't remember. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean based on the actions as well. Because I think that's one thing where it's just like um I never view the alignment as like I chose this, so I have to act this way. It's more of I have to act this way because that's what my character is, and then that just happens to fall as this or that or whatever.
Right. The alignment is what occurs after
The
you make
end
choices.
result. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Not the driving force.
Right. So, well, I remember being Coney, I remember thinking evil thoughts. So that's why I'm guessing that
Yeah,
that's
right.
what was happening.
Right. As we said we were going back to this potentially, the darkness started to creep in.
Right.
Uh
Right.
and then in the back of your voice, the back of your head, you always hear
Yeah. Yeah. And the
it's
face
like,
of Coney is definitely that, like, cheery,
yeah,
well dispositioned, like old grandma, just walking the streets. Nobody assumes her to be anything or anyone.
right, unless they know better.
Hmm.
Which do people
I think, see, yeah, that's what
there's got to
she would
be
have to
some
have some
there's
sort
got to
of
be some
close
people though.
alliances that, like, of people that can do her bidding
Uh,
for
uh,
that to work.
so you guys are the leaders of the three groups back in Hector say.
Right.
Let's
And wait a minute, am I a leader of a group? Is Coney? No,
the
right?
the the you guys as a group are
Are the leaders of all three groups?
uh to an extent. Like you guys went in, you worked with, let's back out a little bit. You worked with the Noonerum to take over Theodar, There was that big
Yep.
fight that had happened over there. That was in this. Where's my pointer? Over here in this tower in the top right of the city. A couple of
Yeah.
the guys, the highest group of the Theodar, you guys ended up
Yep.
taking
Yeah.
out, and then the Goiden, being the merchants, just kind
Yep.
of
Down in the middle.
went forward like, yeah, you know what, it's
It's fine.
if you have the Noonarim and at least part of the Theodar on your side, that's more than enough combined to take us out. So easier to go with the path of least resistance. We'll just join you and we'll go from there. So you guys are situated at like the top of Hector say at this point. It's essentially you were uh, instrumental with the taking over and the uniting of the all three groups. So you guys
Okay.
are definitely seen as like leaders of, because you are like,
Understood.
there's like the two groups sort of thing that are
Understood. We
now with
kind
the
of aligned
Nooner.
everybody.
Yeah.
Um, and the plan was we had to go into like the royal city, that center part, because there was some craziness happening there, right? Like something, or we were going to take them. Maybe we were just going to take them down. Maybe there was no craziness happening.
Yeah, I don't think I
The leading
I
city?
don't remember
No,
uh what
totally making that up.
you might not be, but you might be.
Yeah.
Uh
So that little peninsula area in the center.
yes.
What is that?
So that is the like this whole thing is
Yeah.
the like um this is like the royal, like the nobles and stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of do whatever, and you guys all know that it's something where they aren't um like, you guys could go in and like with all the forces that you have, and it might be like heavy losses, but you guys could go in and take over that with the show of force. They're not so well protected up there. They've got some pretty good protection. But that being said, you know that if we go back to the other,
Maloney was definitely thinking more along the lines of a quiet, silent infiltration.
yeah, you know that
Um,
this is part of the bishopric of Conimbria, and so it's something
yeah,
where
that's right.
w- there's their royalty, and you kind of see them like bumbling whatever, but also you don't know if you do something if all of a sudden you're going to have guests shortly after.
Right. Exactly.
And maybe it's something where you like, and I think this is kind of what you're getting at, like the that nice lady, and just a nice little old lady trying to get in stealthily, whether stealth means not seen, or whether it means very much seen but not seen as a criminal.
I was thinking, I know Quoni was, she definitely had a plan about this, and I don't remember what it was.
Mm,
But something more along the lines is, wasn't there the person that is leading in that city? Wasn't there something about them being flighty or ditzy or uh, dim-witted in some way, or like weak? I remember like some sort of weak leadership for some reason. Any knowledge?
I don't remember this, but also it's been
No.
a minute. It's been a minute, so I
Yeah,
don't
it's been
know.
a long time. But so Coney was thinking something more along the lines of they have um, royalty have serving men and serving women and things like that. Usually it's quite close relation. And so I think Quoni would be trying to buy some of those people
Mhm.
and start, potentially putting those royals in situations that are more advantageous for us. At the same time, doing something on our side of the city where instigating some types of unrest or revolt or unionization or something along those lines where we start fighting to have certain rules or laws enacted or putting someone who is a representative of the people in the as an advisor to the royalty. So I think that's kind of and through infiltration in that way, finding weak points, and potentially attempting to take control and power of the area and then declare independence. Can we do that?
Potentially. I mean, I'm not gonna say that
It'll just take
roll
a
the
few hundred years.
d20 and we'll see. Because one, there's a little bit more to it, and two, that would take so much away from it. So yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Like
but if we
that's
just want to go in and fight them, that's fine too.
yeah, and I mean, there are different ways to handle everything with all of this, and that's kind of the thing that I wanted to see what we were doing. Like, if you guys want to infiltrate stuff and be kind of like talking to people and getting into maybe the higher ups in the excuse me in the way that you are kind of talking, where we is that not where you like like you were saying, talk your way through and not necessarily just fight your way through and build your reputation as, I mean, you guys are well respected in the city. And it sounds like you are also going to be making sure that you're well respected in the city just as the face of people who are helpful, not necessarily in a way that like, oh, the people who know to not look you too close, like not necessarily that. Like some of what the Theodar, like the warriors, where it's just they are very blunt about it, where it's just like, nope, right here, straight up. Um, so you can absolutely start to do that sort of thing. It will probably do some like downtime stuff with figuring it out and to at least start it off with where we're going into that. You guys, as we're on this map, you had gone down to a tower with the guy Jeff, the wizard, and he had kind of taken control back of the tower. But I don't know where you guys had left that off. We had talking about setting up a teleport spell and the fact that you could make a teleportation spell permanent at a spot if you would cast it every day for a year. Uh, and then we got into the question of what about a leap year and things of that nature. But the so, like, is that something that you want to continue with? How would you like to handle stuff like that? Um, so we've got different things, and it doesn't need necessarily an answer this second, but those are just some things where that's where we are, and I'm thinking as we kind of get into it next week. We'll figure that out based on what you guys are thinking, and we can, if you're heading back to the city and enacting your plan from there, kind of what are we leaving the tower with? Is it going to be something where start to cast teleport and we'll get supplies, or are we abandoning that idea? The concept of the tower, I think, was maybe like a secondary stronghold that is. This would just be you guys right now. All of the strength that you have in the town of Hectorsay is you guys, as far as your relationship with the Noonarim, who are kind of controlling it. Again, you are very highly respected as that, but it's also everything is with that. I think I remember this being sort of something of like a bit of independence and trying to carve that out a little bit our own. But please correct me if that sounds incorrect or anything.
I mean, I kind of feel like Tinker's down to do whatever the group's wants to do. I don't think Tinker's like setting off on any like bold plans on his own at the moment. I think his idea, if I remember correctly, was I wanted to craft mithril golems that I could ride around in like giant mechs. That was what my sort of parting goal was. So as long as he keeps getting time to tinker, he's happy to help out in whatever way.
All right,
Okay, cool.
fine.
When we're saying that we're taking over, is it we're still like trying to keep low in notoriety, right? This is all just like only some groups know us. Still like background actors, or is it like you guys are the leaders of this port? Like everyone knows.
I mean, that's kind of up to you guys in terms of like, do you want to be hidden and well known? Like you could become more well known if you were looking to be. Um, but if you're trying to stay more hidden, that could be a possibility. But there's also, with what Jen was just saying with Keone, um, that doesn't necessarily work hand in hand. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't happen. It would just be how are we doing this? Are people staying separate? Are we is Keone kind of trying to do this stuff on her own? Is she working with maybe an NPC that's more able to get this stuff happening and everything like that?
Peony is also definitely opening up a variety of charities and like Goodwill-esque places. She could be the face of those.
Oh God, Jen, I just saw this thing like my worst roommate ever. And it was like the lady in California who was this old lady who would bring homeless people in. And she just like became the face of like this thing. She did great charity. She was seen as independently wealthy. And meanwhile, she was just killing them and collecting their social security checks.
Exactly.
And,
Okay, perfect.
okay, that's where we're going.
That's where we're going.
Like.
Okay.
That's,
okay.
She's
Cool.
like, oh, I could be the
I
sweet
hadn't
old
thought
lady.
about that, but that's a great idea.
I could be the sweet old lady for this. I could be the face for that.
Right.
And exactly, and that would give the notoriety of like, she's this highly respected person in the town or in the city, and that's why she has access to the uh, the nobility sort of thing. It's just like, oh, she's
Employment. Quoni is getting into employment. So she's finding employment for people as well. And so she's
gonna
going to have a whole network of people employed in all areas of the
are you
city.
gonna run for mayor?
No, but she's definitely going to own the mayor.
Well, the mayor is I mean, ultimately the mayor
Or the
is
mayor's assistant, and then gets all the information that's going through the mayor's office.
yeah, that one might be a little bit more
But once the assistant gets information on the mayor, as in the affair that the mayor is having with the assistant,
With
um,
Keone?
no. But then Keone has that information, and now she owns the mayor. You know what I mean?
What if the mayor is the prison lead guard with the horns?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fuck yeah. Forgot
Just
about
saying.
him.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Then he is having an affair with me.
the I mean, there's also stuff to consider because you guys would know this of like, I mean, the people who the mayor ultimately answers to, as much as the current mayor is saying that it's just like, he answers to the people. He ultimately answers to the nobility,
Right,
and
exactly.
they have the power to kind of shift things and make sure that that person works for them. And that's where one of the things where it's just like, and then we own the mayor, and it's just like, only if the nobility cares enough about what you have. It's like,
For sure.
because
For sure.
that it would
That's
definitely
then,
me to blow up the nobility.
but
well,
then,
again, that
potentially then
comes
there's
into the original thing.
information that we have about the if the mayor speaks for the people, then he might be doing something against the nobility. We might be able to ingratiate ourselves with the nobility by sacrificing someone uh as a traitor potentially, and then putting our own people in those
Yeah, we
positions.
can't think of anyone to that we would want to sacrifice.
You shut your mouth, voice
as
of
a-
the sky.
Why? What are you talking about? I'm saying we can't
You know
think of
exactly
anyone.
what I'm talking about.
What I'm
As I
saying
put another handful of mayonnaise in my mouth.
is
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
so yeah, absolutely. So all right, so yeah, we can start getting into that. Do you guys have any thoughts on? Because what I'm thinking of, what we'll do is start next week, like with the tower. You guys are out there. Um,
And
you
we should definitely hire somebody for that. Yes, like just hire like a low level mage as is possible that can just from a spell book cast teleport every year. We just pay him for the year.
So it becomes permanent if you cast it every day for a year, and you have
Right.
a wizard to do that because you have Fred over there. I'm gonna bring you guys
Okay.
here.
Beautiful.
So you have a wizard to do that, but the thing that the wizard needs is the funding to do that,
Okay.
because that, like
I
we
feel
had
like we
talked
have
about,
money. I feel like we have a
you
lot of money. Am I
probably
misremembering that? I
No,
feel
we
like we
definitely
have a
have
ton
money.
of we are all right.
I can't imagine that you guys
I
aren't.
don't know if I don't know if you know this or not, but you did not trust Tinker with money, so I don't have a lot of money.
Right. I have all of Tinker's money.
You probably do.
No, I think
Yeah,
we used Tinker's money
honestly.
to like pay off bills at one
Well,
point.
I think you did.
no. Also
I'm
to
pretty
bail
sure.
him out.
Yeah,
That's what we
that
use
was the
Tinker's money for
start.
a lot.
That was the start. That was the start. But
Tinker lost a lot of money to that fucking jail.
that is true. That's probably how
I think that's really it.
wait, no, that's how the lead prison guard, the guy with the horns, funded his campaign for mayor
Yeah,
with all of the
exactly.
money that he got for having to bail Tinker
Fucking
out.
Tinker. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. Two questions, Kevin. One, or maybe for the group. So at one point we were in this like big fancy house that we ended up in the basement of, and in the basement were a lot of weird creatures doing weird rituals, and somehow we got out of that basement without getting killed because of a series of, I think, ridiculous effects. Are they still a factor, or have we dealt with them? This isn't ringing any bells for anyone. Yep, those were the weird creatures. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Did we handle all of this? Like that's no longer a factor, or are we
Yeah,
still?
TJ went through the ritual. And didn't he? Or did
He
he
went through
back out at the last minute? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think
See, this
through
is
it.
this is what I'm saying. Like I don't recall how we resolved this, and if this is still a group we need to be concerned about.
It was definitely, I don't remember it being resolved. I just don't remember how it was resolved. I feel like TJ went through the ritual
Yeah.
and got the thing. And
Yep.
he's now has the stuff.
Right, but does that mean the plant, like
And
the plant creatures, could come back and be a factor, or we're all good
yeah,
now?
I think no, I don't think we're all good at all. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
I think that now this kind of cult group potentially has some sort of control over that character. Oh, that's right. And you stopped playing that character. You started playing somebody else.
Yeah, I would play as Goth. I can tell that I'm crazy shags here. I was looking for my
Yeah.
character, couldn't find it. I forgot that I disguise self all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of going back to Wisp for this.
Okay. Cool. This was definitely something that was like an arc while we were doing this. That as I was thinking about this the other day after we had talked about doing Underworld, that I'm like, I feel like this is unresolved business that we should maybe consider as a thing to be concerned about.
Pretty sure I left the character there. I don't
There.
Yeah.
remember the specifics of it, but I remember doing that ritual and being like, I'm gonna do stuff with them, and then
There was a
you
really
guys found my character in the sewers on the next place that we went to.
That's right. That's right. There was a really charismatic guy that was in the house that we were interacting with there that led us down there, that was sort of like somebody's got to take part in the whole sacrifice or situation or ritual or whatever it was. I think. I could be wrong, but I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the dude. Yep. Johnny Tentacles. Yep. Actually, Kevin, on the landing page that you put us on originally when we just started this, and then you were re-modifying and moving everybody, there were several people that I have quasi remembrances of. So could we get like a zoom in on them and just maybe a refresh on who they are? Like I remember saying Farla, 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 Farla many times, but I don't remember who they are. I remember them.
This bitch.
I remember her being around, but who was this?
Kevin is muted, so if he's telling us the description, we're not hearing it.
Just forget it.
That
What did
sucks.
I hit? That
So
would have
the
been
first
that
one,
button.
the first one was the masked lady on the roof, or I think it was a lady, and then the
Alright,
second
so-
one is this like Egyptian lady.
All right, then let's go over this again, since I didn't realize I had hit the mute button that I have. So this is Farla. This, you had seen her on the roof at first, in the first battle that you guys had fought.
Yep.
And then you later saw her again, and she helped you when you were fighting against the Theodar. This is Rialt. Rialt? Yeah, Rialt. I don't know if that's how I had said it before, but we'll figure it out.
That's how I'm saying it now.
Yeah, she was also one of the fighters of the Noonarum. I'm trying to find this one. It might also be in the other thing.
Farla's association was also Noonarim.
Yes. Do I have? He must have got teleported. Ah, okay. Is there a toll?
That was the dude from the house with the Stranger Things plant creatures.
That was... You guys should be able to see all of these, is it this? Yeah. All of the
Who is
names.
this? I remember this guy, like his image, because it's a pretty sick image, but I
Yeah.
don't remember who this is.
This is Zuratol.
Zeratol. Okay.
And then this guy is Zertaral, but spelled with
And
an
that's-
X.
But that's the guy from the house that led us into downstairs where the ritual was.
Yes, and these guys were there too. At least some of them were. I know Rehilt was. Perfect. Okay.
And in the group, we've got who's Nagatha?
That was, I think that was the bard that ended up winning the contest.
Oh, the tournament. Yes.
Yes.
Or the Battle of the Bards. Yes.
Yep. So she was brought down as well to that thing, to the ritual.
That's right. Like you do.
Right. As is one to do. Yeah, so that's kind of mostly. Any other questions on where we were or anything like that? So I've already got some ideas now on what we're going to be doing, how it's going to be happening. But if there's any other questions, and if there's any things that we want to kind of jump into, I've got some thoughts with probably some downtime things that we'll touch upon. If you guys are setting up like, yeah, we'll start figuring out a teleportation circle.
So I think we're generally down with that, right? Like we're down with that idea. I think that the other idea is working towards something that either ingratiates the nobles towards us or shows the nobles that that maybe they're not necessary. I mean, that could go one of two ways. But as far as like plans of expansion, it sounds like that means we're still focused here on this small island that we're on the map, or are we thinking grander scale at this point?
And Connie's always thinking about the future, like so maximizing benefit from our current situation and always continuing to try to maximize benefit, and eventually expanding that maximization of benefit.
I mean, that's good. I like it.
Like she's going to just keep going until somebody stops her.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to see how old she is, actually. Because she's living like she has another 300 years.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that as well.
Interesting traits.
You know, if she's got the time, then
Well, she's
problem.
150 years old. Oh, she's chaotic evil.
Yeah,
Okay.
that checks out.
And what?
Is she a gnome? Deep
And
gnome?
she's a deep gnome, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what, like 600.
So she's probably, I mean, if she looks that old, she should probably be older than 150 years. But
Well, I mean, the attack on her life left her scarred and deformed.
Yeah.
The attempt
Sure.
on her life.
I think Kevin's saying you're ugly, but okay.
I mean,
Oh.
or it could be. Let me see. I don't
she's
even.
saying-
What is she? A rogue. Oh, she's a rogue. Okay. She could have had a permanent disguise self put on her. Oh, she has fucking disguise self.
Or maybe.
I hear mayonnaise is the cure-all. Would you like some mayonnaise?
She has permanent disguise self.
That's quite the pickup line.
I know.
Yeah. So and I would just say it's kind of the same thing as what Wisp was doing, just constantly.
Yeah.
Now, disguise self. Is that a
It's a rogue
cantrip
ability,
or
isn't it?
a spell?
It is a spell. It's first level. She gets it from the Snurf magic.
Yeah.
And she gets it once a day. But I think she would have just paid somebody a long time ago
Yeah.
to just permanently disguise her when she was young.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, especially like you guys having things that are not like adjusting necessarily your your look to gain advantage on things. Like, oh, I'm gonna have disguise self, and I'm gonna cast that, and people will think I'm the king, and we can walk in through here. Then I cast it again, and people think I'm the owner of this place. So it's like, wait, what's the king doing in here? It's like, it's not even the king, it's this guy. Constantly being able to do that. But if you guys are using it for like, hey, my character just looks slightly different, but it's like, oh, that's just what everyone thinks my character looks like. Like, I don't mind that as like a, you guys have access to that, and it's kind of like a, you've worked on that to be able to pull that off where it doesn't like cost you anything. But if you change into something else, then it's like, okay, that's going to be a spell.
Yes. So if I want to change Quoni's image into disguise self, I have to use my disguise self. But
Right.
walking around like that's just what she looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still gonna say it's like that's still using disguise self if that's what you want to go with. If you want to look like this and that's what your character looks like, then I'm cool with that. But if you are saying that it's like this isn't what she looks like, she's just disguising herself all the time, that's fine.
Well, I'm just trying to I'm saying that she is legitimately a deep gnome who's 150 years old.
Yeah.
And she has a permanent spell on her that makes her look like she's closer to like 550 years old.
I think you mean 150 years young.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
just trying to sort of like navigate those two things. If you say that I can't do that, that's okay too.
So that's what I'm saying is I don't mind allowing you to have the ability to cast disguise self at will for like you turning into 550. But if you want to change it into something else, then it's a spell slot sort of thing. But you have something, whether it's something that was blessed where like you have it and you can just think about it for a second and you're 550. Like that's what you look like that's the normal thing. And if you switch into something else, you can then do it again and just cast disguise self on yourself and do that same sort of thing.
Okay. And would if I am using my free, let's call it disguise self, to look like Quoni, is that going to end at a certain time? So there will be times, even if I'm by myself or whatnot, I will look like my real version of myself.
If you want to. I'm
Okay.
still thinking disguise self would be an hour, and you just have to kind of, mumble something to
Do it
yourself
every hour?
every little bit.
That seems awfully high maintenance for her.
Well, just every hour, just
have to say that. Yeah.
Wisp
Can
is
we do
doing the
something
same
more
thing.
like maybe it's on like a medallion that she wears, and like when she takes the medallion off, then it can go away? Or I'm also fine with it just being permanent.
Yeah, like if it's a medallion, and it's something where
I don't want to cast it every hour.
Yeah. What about like there's hats of disguise, right? That if you're wearing the hat, it makes you look like something. So maybe the idea of like a medallion,
The headband.
yeah, or something that's what does it. That's a cool idea.
Or-
That could
right.
that's like an object.
Or the glasses. She could be like
a
the
pair of
Superman
glasses.
Clark Kent. It's just a pair of glasses. It changes the whole form.
The shades of disguise.
Fucking Coke bottle glasses that she's wearing.
Sorry, but why don't you just make it so that it's a cursed form of disguise self where it's constantly on and doesn't have an end time?
I like that idea a lot. Give me a
You
curse.
would.
Curse me.
Curse me, please.
Please give me
yeah,
your
no,
cursing.
Hat
I
of
want.
Like
Disguise is,
reverse werewolf curse?
that's
Yeah.
requires attunement, but it doesn't necessarily. What do you have? Are you attuned to everything yet?
You talking about me, Quony?
Yes.
Attuned to. Oh, that's not my inventory. I'm attuned to 2 items.
Okay.
The slippers from Tinker, and my belt of
Love
Stone Giant Strength. So I still have a 3rd slot open.
Okay. So yeah, if you want, you can have the Hat of Disguise.
that we're gonna call the spectacles
Yeah, exactly.
of inebriation. Everybody else thinks you look something else.
Right.
Okay.
That's the beer goggles.
exactly.
I mean, I can make it a headband. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little flower headband that you have on
Yeah.
top there. All right, do we have... All right, so we've got Tinker's going along. Keone's got her thing. Do we have any specific thoughts? I know we've got Crazy Shags and Bortle here. Wispy Dispy Doo.
So,
No,
oh, good.
no, go for it.
I was just going to say that, like, if this helps the kind of world building and designing of where we head with this, in order to make my mithril golems, I need to be able to have access to 2 things that are problematic. One is 5th level spell slots, which I need 2 of, but I can make that happen at 17th level, so relatively close in the world of things. But I also need access to something called a Manual of Golems, which is a very rare item. And I think that that's something that Tinker is on the lookout for. And if that's a prize that can be located somewhere, that is going to have Tinker's total excitement.
Okay. All right. Anything? I mean, especially like Bortle, you were kind of joining in here. Are you? Is Bortle neutral?
Technically, he's lawful evil.
Okay. I thought for some reason he was neutral, but is there anything he's looking for? I know he kind of joined in with these guys, and this might be something where he just kind of going along with it, kind of seeing where things end
Yeah,
up because
I,
of.
I think it was just going along with it. To be honest, I can't remember most of the storyline, so
That's fine. Do you think there would be anything with Portal that he would want to be doing? Anything that he's looking for, even if it's something like what Tinker was just saying, where it's like if there's a chance to get the Manual of Golems,
uh,
then
let me check. I haven't really thought about Portal in a long time, so
yeah. And TJ, anything on your end? Kind of the same question, where Wisp or is it Asgoth, depending on who you're going with, where they have thoughts or uh, anything to kind of aim towards, even if it's not necessarily like it doesn't have to be as specific as I want this very specific item, but just any path that you're looking to go towards.
I was gonna go more Wisp again.
Yep.
And looking like the goal is to be more of like a myth, but like be someone, create a name or persona that I can go to pull the strings and have power that way. And then probably having some kind of like underground, I mean, the whole thing of underground, just having a network of kind of like information like Keone's doing. So kind of just like a line that way.
So it kind of looks like exactly how I have you guys set up is fairly accurate. We've got Keone and Wisp, who are kind of going to be on the same point. Keone will be the face of the outside, and then Wisp will be all the faces of the leader of the underground. And then meanwhile, Tinker is out here being the face that no one wants to see, but no one can get away from. And he's still out there. Whether or not you guys need to distance yourself from him to take care of what you need to. But it sounds a little bit like that's the plan. Also, as we were talking and you guys were talking about the teleportation stuff, it's something where you guys would definitely have been able to teleport from the tower using the portal at least that one time, and then Jeff can go back and start to put that stuff together and cast that each day. I'm gonna say that he'll do that at the same time approximately each day, so that way if you guys wanted to go and see him, or if you wanted him to come and see you, or if you wanted to send anyone over there to get stuff going, or I mean any messages that he needs to get to you, obviously he can get through there, because if you are setting up any sort of stronghold over there with the tower, I mean you have a wizard setting up at a tower that you helped break free, so it's not nothing, but it's also something where he had lost it at one point anyway. Now, it may have been something where he got tricked out of it, and you should be good. You feel, those of you, Wisp, what were you? What class?
Uh,
Or what are
An
you?
Air Genasi Warlock, Genie
Okay.
Warlock.
Yeah. Okay, it's coming back now. The you're familiar with magic. Tinker is a little bit too, where you guys know, you feel fairly comfortable with what Jeff has been saying and his seeming like attunement to the tower that you guys have gotten him back into. When you did get over there and get things kind of set up, he seemed like he was able to take control back. It is still kind of falling apart, so he is going to be working on repairing that with all the magic that he's got and that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a little bit before he's able to really get some power out there there may be some things also depending on what you guys are looking to do in terms of getting a stronghold out there. Are you going to be sending supplies through there? Are you going to be keeping it secret because this is my level of independence? This is our level of independence that we're carving out from just the powers that we have aligned ourselves with here in Hector. So, do you want to keep sending a lot of stuff out there, or is it we don't care? We don't care that you know. So you can send a lot of stuff, and who cares? They're definitely going to find out. Maybe you limit how much you send out there so that it doesn't raise suspicions. But that's up to you guys with how you want to handle that. If it's not that much of an issue and you're just trying to kind of get the tower, and it's like, well, we have the tower and we'll just stay like that for now, that's fine. Obviously, any of this stuff is up for discussion, and there isn't like a nope, you already made your decision. You were just going to have it be at the tower. And it was like, well, what if we start sending stuff now? Nope, you already said. So that's not a big deal, but that's just kind of the situation that you guys had found yourselves in. Like I said, you could definitely teleport back to the city, so you're there at that point. But Fred is definitely, you guys feel like he is definitely a wizard of enough significant strength that he is someone you would feel strong that, like, yep, even though every time we look at you, we feel like maybe we just kick you in the stomach and then give you, but no, he seems to have, seems to be working out, at least at the moment, as far as my interpretation of what you guys have thought. But
Okay, so how Quoni would want to use this situation for the tower. She definitely wants to foster an alliance with this guy. He's definitely motivated by money.
who's that?
I feel like we have the mage.
Yeah, well, he's
wizard,
definitely,
sorry.
yeah, he's already very grateful to you and indebted to you for helping him get his tower back. So
Beautiful.
it's
And she wants to
not
keep it
something
that
where
way.
yeah, exactly. It's something where it's like he wouldn't like, oh, I'll give my life for you sort of thing. But it's like,
No.
oh, holy shit, yeah, no, you guys have
Yeah.
already helped me a bunch.
Yeah, I want it to be a mutually beneficial relationship,
Yeah.
because he has a lot of influence over the seas. Correct?
Yes.
Am I remembering that? So like I'm thinking for him, like this tower can be a sort of hub for us away from the city that nobody really knows about. So this
Right.
can be a major pit stop for things getting secreted in and or out. Yes, we want to keep supplying the enemies of our enemies, but we don't want anybody to know. We don't want our enemies to know that. We also don't want
Yeah.
our enemies to know that they are our enemies.
Right.
So all of that's going to be secret. Having ability to do that through the ocean potentially is great. Also, I think one of the angles that we're going to play with trying to siege the capital would be, everybody needs to eat. So if we can start knocking over merchant ships that are bringing supplies to the capital and taking them for ourselves and stockpiling them some places and whatnot, potentially weakening the royals, and or potentially inciting the royals to become aggressive towards the people, and the people being highly prepared for that sort of thing. So giving the people a reason to take these royals out of power. Because they would start to get desperate.
So-
So I think having this guy to help us with trade and a hub for items and a hub for hiding things is where I see his future relationship with us.
So what I'm hearing is it always comes back to pirates.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like all of his underwater horde, like they are going to be pirates for us.
Yes.
And so we can definitely weaken the royalty through weakening their supply chain, and make their resources our resources, and or also poisoning some aspects of their supply chain or food
Don't
chain.
forget about blowing stuff up.
Yeah, there's that too. Happy accidents can occur,
I'll be happy.
and ships start having accidents.
I believe they call them mishaps.
All right. Okay, cool. That gives me a bunch to work with. Because I was thinking stuff like that, that you guys would be wanting to do certain things. Obviously, I knew you guys would go to pirates, because ultimately, that's where they all lead. But yeah, okay. I've got some things in mind for exactly what we're going to be jumping into and working with as we start back up with this. But I think for now, as far as this, I'm all set. Unless anyone has any thoughts, I'm not necessarily sprinting away.
I
But
just want to throw out there, I did DM you with something that I would like Tinker to have access to.
I saw that you said something, but I didn't get to read it. But yeah, if anyone has things that they are,
I see that we are also level 11. Can we just
Yeah.
start playing at level 12?
yeah, I
Already
think,
there.
yeah, I don't know if we had gone to 12 or there was something. I thought that we were 12. Maybe someone had said 12 or whatever it was. But that's something where, yeah, the that sort of stuff was, yeah, that's fine. 12 works.
Yay.
Oh, come on, man. Be more excited.
I
Level
am.
12.
Level 12. Yeah.
Tinker took Speedy.
So now he can annoy you even faster.
I'm even faster at it. My mayonnaise travels double speed.
Oh no.
Oh, pardon me.
You're excused. And Kevin, when you read the thing I sent to you, I'm thinking like limited quiver of these, like
Mhm.
not every shot is this, but also
Right.
if every shot is this, stealth is out the door. Like there
Mhm.
there is no
Well,
stealth.
once you start shooting.
Yep.
Anyway, I start blasting.
So, anyways, stop last.
Let's see.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
Did I do the right one? Didn't. I didn't want that to be the one either. That's okay. I'm gonna play around with some of these things. I like some of the stuff with Roll20 where you have the ability to load up music for a page as long as you set that up beforehand.
Well, I took Great Weapon Master because apparently I did not take that before. So, hooray.
And what are you, a barbarian?
Yeah, I'm a barbarian of the totem.
Does Great
There.
Weapon Master only apply to melee weapons, or is it any weapon?
It only applies to two-handed melee weapons.
But okay, two-handed melee. I was going to say, but what about like a great crossbow, which would be a two-handed ranged weapon? But if it's melee, it's melee.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
technically,
that's what, sharpshooter?
well, Great Weapon Master is on your turn when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon. Yeah, so specifically melee weapon, or reduce a creature to 0 hit points. You can make one more melee weapon attack. So technically, you don't necessarily need the heavy action. There's a secondary property when you hit a creature with a weapon that has a heavy property as part of an attack action on your turn. You can cause the weapon to deal an extra D4.
That could be an interesting feat to take for like a homebrew, where since Tinker has like the infusion that gives him like reloading, like free reloading, so he can take the 2 shots with the great crossbow. If like on a critical hit, it would allow an additional shot. That's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I'm seeing on D&D Beyond, heavy weapon mastery when you hit a creature with a weapon that has the heavy property as part of the attack on your turn, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. That extra damage equals your proficiency. No, this is a different thing. This is great. Fuck is this?
Oh,
Is this the new one?
Weapon Master, and what did I put? I took. All right. So
Must be
comically,
24.
2 Great Weapon Master feats accidentally.
That's great. Love
I
it.
took the 5, and then the 5 because this was before. I took the original one, and then the new one.
Yes.
So the original one still has on your turn when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make 1 melee attack as a bonus action. This is the legacy. And then before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack roll hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage. Versus the new one, which is your strength increases by 1. When you hit a creature with a weapon that has a heavy property as part of the attack action on your turn, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and then you also have Hew, which is immediately after you scored a critical hit with a melee weapon, melee period, or reduce a creature. Immediately after you score a critical hit with a melee weapon, or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make 1 attack with the same weapon as a bonus action. So they switched it up a little bit, but you still get that it just has to be a melee weapon.
Yeah,
The
I'm just thinking it'd be
that's-
interesting. It'd be
that
interesting.
part's the same for both.
Correct.
The
It's one that changes, which I kind of like the new one a little bit more, just because it doesn't destroy your attack roll.
I don't know. I appreciate like the give and take, the -5 for just the set increased damage.
right, like by the time, but the new one would definitely scale better.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because by the time you are at, actually, what's your proficiency at the moment?
+4.
So yeah, if you hit with both of those and you have essentially you're eliminating that -5. So you've got 25% chance more to hit. And if you hit with both of those, then you're doing 8 damage. If you have 2 attacks.
Yep.
But at the same time, can you do it? You can also have plus 20 on both of those attacks if you hit. So,
but you also
absolutely.
don't get an increase to strength. So
Right.
it's also okay. You have the chance to, you have a higher hit percentage now because your attack roll also increases. So
As long as it's even.
I know.
Fucking dumb. Like, I know that there, but still, what the fuck. But yeah, no, I there's definitely good and bad, but also by the time, like I was saying, it's like, does it scale? Because if you're a +4, but if you're swinging and you're a fighter that's, really high attack, then you could be doing, by the time you're doing, what's it, 11th? You're doing 3
Well,
attacks?
is it 11th? I thought it was, maybe it's 12th. I think it's 12th.
I thought it was 11, but either way. But by that point, you could be doing 30 extra damage around. As long as you hit.
I just because like the heavy property is on the heavy crossbow, I like I like the idea, not right now, but I like the idea of potentially like home brewing that to say, like, Tinker has a +12 to hit right now, so I could feasibly take the -5 to get the extra damage to make it work. But
11th.
it is 11th? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
12 is an ability score.
Oh, you know what? We talked about that earlier.
Right.
Should have known
Right.
that.
Every 4, and we know that the fighter gets them every 2. So they're definitely not missing out on any of those abilities. How many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The only one that's weird is a 19th level. Jeez, they get so many. If you roll really poorly with the fighter, you'll be able to make up for it. If you roll really well, you'll certainly make up for it.
I think we saw that when you guys fought the giant duck when we went to Pirates.
Who was the fighter there?
I think it was Eric, wasn't it?
Where?
When we did the pirate game at the pirate.
I was the Rune Knight, so yes.
Yeah, because you'd miss once, but then you just always hit on the other 2. if you missed once. If.
Right. Let's say this hypothetical, and Eric misses. All right, but that's all you get. It's that one miss.
That's it. Just the one. He's gonna do one.
And then
Ooh.
what's the idea? So would Keone just be trying to infiltrate the nobility on her own? Is she going with others? Is she bringing some of the party? Is she bringing all of the party? And I know this is something that we'll kind of get to as we start doing this stuff too. Um, or are there NPCs that you would like to have where it's like they might fit in a little bit more than some of the rest of the crowd she's hanging with?
Keone's not, in the beginning anyway, she's not infiltrating herself. She's doing her thing with her not-for-profits and her charities and her
Right.
stuff like that. She definitely the thing that she'll do quickest is work on getting spies under her employ in the royal situation, whatever it is, houses
Yep.
or whatever the deal is. So she's going to be working on getting spies in there, and won't be doing anything herself until may actually not be doing anything herself, but just structuring the situations so they're to her advantage, and the people of the party can do whatever they want. Whether Quoni isn't doing anything alone either, so she has a very large network, and she's always trying to grow her network. The party would be a part of that network, and so they will be. We're all going to be doing things sometimes together, sometimes separately, but all working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
I would imagine, unless others don't want to work towards that goal, and that's fine.
Right. And it sounds like we're still on the same page of everyone is looking to work towards a goal, even if they don't have a specific goal in mind.
Like ultimately, Quoni she's not doing this for herself necessarily. Like she's doing this for the people that she considers her family. Like for her clan. So like this what she's doing this to make everybody that she cares about or that relies on her to get them into a better situation. So she really kind of is Robin Hood-esque. Like if I do well, we all do well.
Right.
And she just really fucking hates authority.
Mm-mm.
And everything where somebody was born into nobility or wealth and they've never earned it. So she's very much so like, if you're going to be in a position of power, you need to have earned that position of power.
Right.
And so that's what she's doing, is she's looking to acquire power, but she's also down. She expects that she's going to do the work for it, and anybody who's gotten there easily, she wants to see them removed. She does want power in the hands of the people. She doesn't want royalty overseeing anything, and so she's going to be working to make that happen.
So all of this is something where it's just like, this is all great and all, but it also fits my worldview and my morality. and it's not just necessarily a means to an end, where it's just like, yeah, let's get these charities going, and that'll be fun. And it's just like, no, I actually do want to have a charity for these people. Well, and then I am gonna light half the town on fire, but like, then the people who are displaced will have a place to go. I've got everything figured out. But there is chaos coming.
Gotta burn it down before you can build it up.
Right. You can't make an omelet without burning down a city, as I always say.
That's what I've always said.
Right. It's like, right, and that's why we don't leave you in charge of omelets anymore.
Oh my god, I love omelets. You make them with eyeballs.
Testicles of a newt?
A newt. I got better.
You want to be sure? Hire yourself a witch, or I'm just your cook.
What floats in a river? Rocks, small bits of lead. A duck. Exactly.
Who are you who is so wise in the ways of science?
It is I.
Tinker!
Does he float? Throw.
There's only one way to know.
Was he supposed to take the heavy armor off? I don't think he can.
It's kind of beyond his ability.
But anyway, I guess bye. That's funny. Taking extra. Yeah, sharpshooter is the great weapon master of ranged.
Sharpshooter. Okay, and I don't think I've taken it yet. I think I have feats.
Although not the new one.
I have not. No.
Because that's just increased dex. Your range attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, which is the old one. Being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls with ranged weapons. And then attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls with ranged weapons. Whereas the old one was attacking long range doesn't impose disadvantage. Your ranged weapon attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, and before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty in the attack roll if it hits, +10 to the damage.
Yep. That's a possibility. I might do it just because of Tinker's use of the crossbow and also the sort of the lightning gem that he has in the armor.
Yeah, that's a that was part of your class stuff, right?
Yeah, it's part of the armorer artificer, which is what I am.
Which is not what I am, but I took it anyway because I thought.
But I took it
so
anyway
cool.
just to fuck with it, just to make it happen. I think I've got Tinker basically back to figuring out what to do with all of his stuff and things. So I'm happy about that.
Nice. Yeah, because we know you've never lost how to use him as a character.
Never. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. We know you don't.
We understand that you don't understand, but okay.
Well, that doesn't mean anything now, does it? Correct.
You are correct.
Correct.
The best kind of correct.
That's just the regular correct.
Which is just the, you're not wrong.
It was not like a specific technically correct. It was just correct, which is the best kind. It's like, well, yeah, as in not wrongness.
Yes, and it's not wrong.
Lacking in the wrong category. What? What?
What?
Steel is heavier than feathers. That's right.
Did I put that in here?
Pop quiz. Which one's heavier? Kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers? That's right. It's a kilogram of steel. Steel is heavier than feathers.
Was not Spicoli. Was
Oh.
not.
God, it's so funny.
Yes, I hear you. You're fine. Shh.
All right. All right, so you guys are back in Say. We'll see what we run into next week as we start up at level 12. And I'm definitely going to be sending some stuff to some of you for some rolls to figure out exactly what's going on. I think what we might do is that between 11 and 12, maybe establish what you guys were talking about, and we can figure out, like, a year has gone by, so the teleportation circle has been set up. You guys have started to build your spy network. There's been enough time where you've been able to do that. There's also the question of you can do that, but you also have to be aware of the Noonerum, who are, the big players in the town, which you are allied with. Whether the people who are part of your spy network are loyal to you or to the Noonerum. If there's too many people who are just loyal to you, it might start to look, how it would. So just things to keep in mind with as we go through all of this. How people might react to the different things that you're doing.
We're good. They're good. We're all good. It's good.
That stupid electric thing at that restaurant. The lady had to say something towards the end there.
I don't know I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember the wire thing that you had to not touch or it buzzes?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay.
God. Wow, he's got a steady hand. He must not drink much. Lady, it's 12:30. I've had 9 beers already.
I'm good. You good? You're not good?
I don't.
We're good.
Well,
Let's do this.
not beers, but whatever. Drinks, the equivalent of.
The equivalent of 4 beers.
I don't think so. I think the alcohol. Oh, let me see.
I think I'm gonna have to redo the verbiage on what I just threw in Discord, and it's gonna go noonerin.
Nice. 4.5.
Hmm.
That's a lot of beers. It's some Bud Lights and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
some Bud Lattes.
Did anybody see the clip that was on the Daily Show the other day about Boston running out of beer during
Yes.
the Scotland Norway game? And
Yeah.
at the end, the Scottish guy goes, "Yeah, they told me all they had left was Bud Light, and no." And like, that's so great. Oh.
Yeah, that's a fair reaction. It's just like, I don't need to get drunk that bad.
Yesterday, the England game was in Dallas, and I was in Dallas, and the cheapest ticket to get into the game was $1,300, and I was like, I'm not doing that. But I went to this pub called the Londoner, and I got together with a couple folks that I've worked with over the last several years from Dallas, and it was great to see them. And the Londoner made it on the news. They did not talk to us at all, but the place was on the news, and I'm like, oh my god, the news! It didn't work out. It was great. It was great.
Oh
My
my
favorite
god.
part.
It's
My,
smooth.
my favorite part was like I walked in. They had this sign up that was like $5 cover to get in. I'm like, I haven't had to pay a goddamn cover to get into somewhere in a long time. And I walked up, and the guy turned around and looks at me, and he goes, "You can just come in." And I was like, "That's great, thank you."
Yeah.
And so
America.
America. And so like I walk into the bar, and the bar is the bar is a madhouse, to the point that I walked in, got up to the bar, and just went, I don't need to be here. And I walked back. I just turned around and walked back out, and there was a bar outside, and I was like, I'll grab a beer. And as I grabbed a beer and sat down, my friend Venus was like, Tom, I must have missed you. Where are you? And I went, I'm sitting outside in one of the tents because it's crazy. And she's like, okay, good, because it's nuts in here, and I don't want to be in here. I was like, yeah, come outside. We're good. We're good.
That's excellent. Nice being on the same page like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. But I was a little bummed that I didn't get to see more of Dallas when I was down there, just because I hadn't been there before. But I would, again, if you are in a location that one of these like Meow Wolf installations are there, go and see it. It's pretty nuts.
Oh, whoops.
What did you say you should check out?
It's called Meow Wolf, like a cat, meow, and then the word wolf. And what was crazy was I had never heard of this before, and so it was like 20 minutes from where my hotel was, and I'm like, I'm going over to check this shit out. And I went, and I'm like, I really feel like I should have had more people with me to go to this, because there's families and like people on dates here, and it's just me being a fucking weirdo by myself. But also, I don't care.
So
I'm gonna check
nothing
this
new.
shit out. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just me being Operation Tom. That's all. But that said,
I'm the doctor for you.
I think the concept is that there's a story that you uncover by interacting with the items that are there, and that could be a computer or a tablet or a picture or whatever. But it's kind of like it's kind, or you have like 3D goggles that you put on and that let you see things in a different way than they are normally. And every room and every aspect of every room that you walk through. And if you can imagine like a mansion, that's the size and the space that you have to walk through. There are doors that don't look like doors, or there are walls that if you walk up and touch, you realize is a door. So it's not escape room because you don't have to like follow the story to figure out work your way through the structure. But if you do that, it provides you clues that lets you know where you go, so the story kind of unfolds as it happens. And you basically get ushered through the front door, and as you walk into the like room, it looks like the outside of a house in the suburbs. There's a garden you can walk through to find clues. There's like a shed that halfway through the kind of just piecing your way through, you find like a doorway through a dark tunnel through like a crawl space, and you're suddenly back in the shed at the start, and you're like, well, fuck, that's not the way out. Now I got to figure this out again. So it was really cool. Like, it was really well thought out. Like, there were a couple like super sketchy areas that felt very much like haunted houses where people were going to jump out at you, and the whole vibe is that nothing jumps out at you, but it feels like it's going to at times. So it's like there's some rooms you walk in and you're like, whoa, and then there's like other rooms you walk in and the sound and the light and everything is just instantly creepy, and the door kind of like closes behind you, and then you're just in a room going, well, fuck, this is where I get jumped, because this is exactly the situation I'll be in. Like, I'm gonna get jumped, and now I have to figure my way out of it. Like, do I even want to be in this room right now? It was really, like, as far as sensory like sort of experiences go, it was really cool. And so if you're I had called like a Lyft to bring me over, because I didn't know like how far it was or what it would take, and I didn't want to drive the rental car just in case shit happened. And so I called the Lyft to bring me back. And as I get in the car, the guy's like, "Hey man, how you doing? Yeah, have you checked this out?" He's like, "Yeah, it's really cool. You should check out the other ones." What are you talking about? He's like, "Oh, you don't know?" And he like turned into this tour guide where he's like, "There's one in Dallas, there's one in Houston, there's one in Vegas, there's one out in California, there's one like I think they said one's in Denver." So like apparently these are installations all over the place. Yep. So apparently they're all over the place.
That's like the list.
Yeah, and so, but again, I had never heard of this ever before I went to it, and then I went to it, and the whole time I'm just like, oh my fucking god! Like, if this was something on like Saturday afternoon, we all went to on the D&D weekend, everybody's brain would be fucked when we came back, but it would be great. It'd be so good. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised you haven't heard of something that there's 6 of across the country. And by across the country, I don't mean like the whole thing. I mean, on the other side of the country, there's 6 of these. You hadn't
sort of
heard of that,
Central
Tom?
West.
Jeez.
Well,
You don't know
I mean,
every single thing about America?
no, but I do think that I try to keep a like a handle on like interesting things that if I'm traveling I should go check out. And I think that one of the things that was crazy was like,
I used to know all of them.
no, I did. I would
I'm
not
obviously
say that. But
slipping.
but
Yeah, exactly.
I like, of the people
Every
that I
interesting
consider
thing.
like maybe not adventure ready, but definitely like adventure friendly that are out there that were in Dallas, and I told them I did this. They're like, "What are you talking about? We've never heard of this." And I'm like, "How have you never fucking Googled cool shit around me? Like, that's just what you should be doing. Shouldn't we all be doing that?" But anyway, so
I Googled. I don't have luck with Google.
okay, whatever search engine you want. I'm just saying.
The other ones are worse.
It's fair. There used to be I don't know.
Good
It
internet.
was more of like a Reddit forum than anything, and I haven't been able to track it down in a while now. But it was basically, it was like nerdy things to do, and then just put your city in wherever it was, and it could be anything from what like the best comic book store was to like anything. And anytime I went to Chicago, I would look it up, and I would find so much fun stuff to do in Chicago, because it's just like, it was great. And so whenever I'm going somewhere new, I'm always like, what's the shit to check out? And unfortunately, on this trip, I was one of only 2 people with the rental car, which meant I was fucking herding people around, which no thanks. And 2, one of the 2 nights that one of the 3 nights we were there, the boss, like the head boss, was like, I've made dinner reservations so we can go out and get together at 4 p.m. And we went to this restaurant and we had food that was delicious. I am not going to knock the restaurant's food, but it was like huge portions. And then everybody's like, ugh. And I was like, I don't even want to go lift or run. I just feel gross right now. So it just sort of sucked the energy out of it. But
What'd you get?
I got this chicken pesto that was this huge piece of chicken breast with mushrooms, pesto, gorgonzola cheese, and walnuts. And it was fucking delicious. And then as a side, I got these potato cakes that were served with a little bit of sour cream on the top of them. But the potato cakes were roughly the size of like, you know those, like not the normal Pillsbury dough biscuits that you have at the holidays, but like the Uber ones that are like double the size. There were 2 of those with like these like caramelized peppers that have been drizzled over the top of them. Oh my god, I'm kind of salivating thinking about them right now, but it was a lot of
Right.
food.
It's insane.
Well, and then the woman next to me, she ordered a pork chop, and the pork chop was, I would say, probably 4 inches thick. And she ate like a quarter of it and was like, I cannot eat the rest of this. And I was like, I mean, like honestly, part of me goes, I mean, you should, but the other part goes, I get it. So
Once I'm full, I can't fill myself more. It's full. Like, no, it'll just come back up. There's no reason to put more in.
yeah, I don't want to do this.
We're
I
just
don't wanna-
doing the same thing twice at that point.
Yeah,
I'll put it in and then just pull it back out. Or my body will push it back out.
I get the idea that like leadership wants everybody to get together and like go thing, and it's been a thing for like forever in the organization. But also, first of all, who eats fucking dinner at 4 p.m.? Like, I don't understand
Old
that.
people, Tom.
I know, but like the general consensus of the people in this crowd were not generally old, including the director. And then it was largely because she had to sit through Dallas traffic to go home, and didn't want to have to like battle that later. So we were accommodating her, and I already don't like her. So this just kind of continued to solidify that.
Wouldn't that mean that the dinner is then ending at like 5 and she's setting herself up for the worst case scenario?
Well, she of course ordered like an appetizer and a side because she knew what the meals looked like because she fucking lives in Fort Worth. The rest of us had no idea, so we ordered food and then got what we got.
Yeah, pack that shit. I've got dinner for the next 3 days.
Well, that was just it. Was like, so people came in Monday night. This happened on Tuesday night, and then half the people all grabbed flights out late on Wednesday night. So it was like, if you wanted to chomp on this as you were driving to the airport, that was really your opportunity. Like it was just kind of dumb.
You toss in your hotel thing and have it for lunch the next day.
Yeah. So, well, I had joked the woman who ordered the giant pork chop. The next day, we're sitting in like meetings, discussions, and like a break right around lunch, and I was like, "Are you gonna pull the pork chop out? Like, are you just like pull it out bone first, just kind of gnaw on it?" And she's like, "I absolutely did not bring that with me." I get it. But,
yeah, I didn't realize there were meetings.
yeah, it was 2 full days of meetings talking about the utilization of a new AI product, and
cool.
So good and bad. Like, so apparently the leadership of the agency with some terms for how we're supposed to utilize or not utilize AI products, and one of the rules specifically says do not use AI to generate case-related material. And we were discussing using a tool that would generate case-related material. So we're already ducking rule number 1. And then rule number 2 was if AI is utilized to generate anything that could be utilized in a case or trial-related scenario, these are the steps that need to be validated as far as the validation process, right? So there needs to be peer-to-peer review and there needs to be managerial before a product goes out. And all of the people who don't use this product or are not going to use this product were in the room going, well, that's going to slow down our results. And I said, right, but that's how we ensure we're not making shit. And the response was, well, the whole point of this is to speed things up. And I said, the whole point of this is to utilize technology to ensure we're finding the best cases that we can find, not speed this up to the point that we're sending shit out. Because as soon as it goes out and somebody finds out that it's not right, A, that's a lawsuit against the government, and B, whoever did it is the fall guy or girl. And everybody that goes to like radio silence in the room. Well, then how do we avoid that? The fucking peer-to-peer and managerial review process that we just fucking said. Like this, yeah. This was 4 days basically in Dallas that could have been a fucking conference call. And I'm still just annoyed that I had to go do this. But I got to check out Meow Wolf and go to the Londoner, so I'll go with that.
Sounds like a typical work event.
You made it through.
Yeah. To be honest, the flight back from Dallas today was nonstop, which was great because the flight to Dallas was 2 legs. Yeah, was not, and it was not great. But the flight back wasn't bad. Actually, I haven't been on like a 4-hour flight for a while, and it flew by, right? Like but the only thing that sucked was apparently Portland was experiencing potential tornado level like rain and windstorms as I landed, which I had no idea about until I landed, and then everybody texted me to tell me this. I'm like, well, I'm here. I made it. So I get off. I'm like, I was seated like way at the rear of the plane. And so, you just sit there like for the half hour it takes for everybody to come off, and you're just like, ugh. And I get off the plane and you hit the head, and I head over to baggage claim, and it was another half hour before baggage claim like actually started to like send the baggage carousel going around. I'm like, However, I'm going to make this as a suggestion for anyone who has to travel for business. I have found that turning on metal while just standing there waiting for the baggage carousel is actually incredibly enjoyable because you just drown out all the sounds around you. And I did it today, and it's basically been one of my fun things for traveling. And so eventually my bag came up, grabbed my bag, go to the car, throw the stuff in the car, start the car up, make sure things are working, drive to leave the airport. And as I get to the long-term parking pay kiosk, it immediately shuts down as I'm getting drenched because the window's open and it's fucking torrential rain. And then I have to throw it in reverse and go sit in line because for some reason they didn't want to say that the lanes were closed before they knew they were closed. And then I pull up and the woman just starts talking to somebody else as the rain is pouring through the window. And there's a part of me that wants to lose my mind, and the other part I just want to. And so I keep it cool. And I put the window up after I pay everything. And as I pull out, I get behind a car from Connecticut in the lane I have to be in.
Was it Murph?
It was not Murph, because, oh man, I would have loved to have gotten out, slapped him and said, what's wrong with you? But, and that car, I followed it. And rather than 30 minutes to get home, it was approximately 57 because I watched it on the clock. And I finally got home. And Sarah was like, I was about to text you. You said you were home like an hour ago. You okay? I'm like, not really, but let's do this. But I'm home. And so it was good. It was great. I'm very happy to not be traveling right now. So. And as I'm sitting on the back of the plane waiting for everybody to do, there's these three English folk behind me who apparently had gotten American change and didn't know what the change was called, and they were arguing with each other about what the coins were. And I listened to this for about 10 minutes, and then finally I was like, I might be able to help. What do you got? And they were like, so this one's a quarter. I said, that's right. But what's this one? I said, well, that's a nickel. What's this small one? That's a dime. Why is the small one worth more than the big one? That's a great question. I live here and I don't know the answer to that. So good luck. So they get quiet for a little bit. And the woman that was sitting behind me goes, so to my counting, that's some like 35 cents. Can I get anything for that? I said, not really. There was a time, but I wouldn't like hold your breath about that.
I think it was the metal that was used.
You know what? That's probably right. That is probably
Why older coins are worth more in collections because they used more of the metal.
For sure. But I think Kevin might be right that maybe that's why the dime was worth more than a nickel, was because of the base metals used to create it originally. You know what? I mean,
I feel like I heard that, but it might also be bullshit. Could have heard it, but that's wrong. So.
I've heard lots of things, whether they're right or not.
Like I wish it's just like, okay, this is a quarter. Now what is this one? And it's just like, that is a fifth quarter. Yep.
You know what that is?
One,
That's the overtime
that one
in
is a mini quarter, and it's worth 10 cents. That one is a fifth quarter. It is worth the same as a nickel would be if we had any of those.
Yeah, that one's called a Punky
5 cents.
Brewster. If anybody tells you it's not, they're lying to you. It's called a Punky Brewster.
A dime is smaller than a nickel primarily due to historical design choices and the materials used in their production, despite the dime having a higher value. Coin composition. The dime was originally...
Did AI Jen just join us? Nice.
The dime was originally made of silver, which was a valuable metal. Its size was determined based on the amount of silver it contained, specifically 1/10 of a dollar's worth. In contrast, the nickel, introduced later, was made from a copper nickel alloy, which is cheaper and allowed for a larger coin size.
So
what's the material?
Completely off subject. Trying to randomize names for a character, and my name came up.
Well,
so that's it.
Right. You have to be fucking boring.
Yeah.
I don't consider Wolfgang a boring name.
Right. But
yeah, you can grow
boring
up with
to have the same name.
If he's gonna make it seem like it's a bad thing. That's like,
buddy, you didn't have to grow up with this name, so shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying I did.
I still have to fucking show people my ID because they don't believe me. This name is annoying.
I'm sure it is.
Obviously, D&D thinks it's pretty cool.
Right. It's like, nah, it's still cool though. It must suck. That's like, because real life also exists. But when it's just the name in and of itself, on its own, in a vacuum, that's what I was searching for. Then it's pretty cool when we're not talking about paperwork and bureaucracy.
Why would we ever be doing that in D&D? Tom's not the DM.
I was just gonna say.
Oh, you you guys are trying to get, at least some of you are trying to get to the nobility. There's going to be some bureaucracy going on. Can't wait to bore everyone to death. That's how I take them out.
All right. Guess you just decided the name for me. Alternate dimension rack. Pulling a Brian here.
An ad rack?
Yeah. Seriously, give me something. Just like. Man, the randomizer is pretty shit today, not gonna lie. Usually by now I find something either ridiculous.
What randomizer?
Oh, the one on Beyond. I'm about to go to a different one.
Oh. I never use the one on Beyond, but I do use
That's how
Fantasy Name
Bozo was
Generator.
born.
It's very, it seems very limited. Whereas fantasynamegenerator.com or .net or whatever it is, that has a lot of stuff that you can customize the different names. Like just for D&D, there's like rows and rows of like orcs and gnomes and vampires and werewolves and just Githyanki, all sorts of stuff. Different genders or neutral stuff depending on what the race and the species are. And it's just like, oh, this is so much. This is awesome. This is definitely not an aspect of the game that I excel at, is naming.
Also, Gesundheit. You said get Yankee.
Nice. That's fair. You definitely had to explain it because it's like, I
Well-
may have sneezed.
I didn't want to interrupt you because you were talking, and then I still want to say Gesundheit. I still want to say.
That's fine. But the time had definitely passed, so
Yeah, no,
like,
it did,
you
it
definitely
did,
have to
it
break
did,
down what the
it
fuck
did,
you're
it-
talking about.
Yeah. It was just like I wanted to say it. I'm like, he's on a roll. Let him go. Just
But yeah, no, it's like that's where most of my stuff comes from, is just different fancy name generator.
I was listening to a podcast that I like recently, and the DM frequently just like I don't know if he's got like a random letter generator or something he uses, but he just comes up with like random like connective tissue sounding words for names like on the spot, and he came up with the name for this dwarf as like Jasm. Jasm like Red Claw, and one of the players is like, so this guy's joining our team, and it seems like he's got some charisma. So could we just tell him to give the other players the Rhythm Jasm or the Rhythm Jism? And people just kind of lost their minds from that point on. But
Yeah. There's definitely, like, if I just went off the cuff, there would be like a just alliteration or rhyme on everything. I'd be naming shit like I was the fucking slime, like I'm Rimuru. The first goblins that he named were like Gobta, Gobzo, Gabiru. And it's just like, you're not really drifting very far with your imagination. Also, they are very, very similar.
They're not. There's not a lot of difference.
It's like, what's your name? Goblin. It's like, no, but what's your name? It's like, it's Goblin. He
Gob.
was out of ideas by that point. By the
Gobi.
time he got to me, which Gobzor is right there. Although that one does sound like it should be saved for just the coolest
boss.
goblin.
Yeah.
Gobzor. He definitely turns into a mech.
Or he's working on it. One or the other.
Well, right, exactly. His body parts are being replaced.
one at a time by himself. By
Yeah.
himself. Yeah. I don't know why this is reminding me of this, but that there was a brief moment in a moment of respite actually when you guys were exploring Strahd's castle in Ravenloft. When you opened the door and there was like a chaise lounge, and there was a vampire hanging out on this couch reading a book. And I think you guys had just like fought your way there, and you were like, "Oh shit, what is this?" And it was this real effeminate vampire. And I just remember like Eleanoa gravitating into the conversation immediately to know about all the books in the library.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. We hit it off real well.
It went pretty well. For sure.
And I don't know if that was something that normally becomes a combat, but
it was one of those things where it could, and like your instant like just sort of like, no, I'll charisma your charisma kind of thing was appreciated, because I'm like, I don't want to run out of combat right now. So.
Right. Yeah, it's helpful to survive as you can.
Sometimes.
Right. As often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Some side
Kevin, I have something made up now. If I ever get to join in.
Okay. Let's get to. What's the name? Why do I keep getting that?
I will say that the way I built Bozo definitely did influence this character.
Are you Ozob?
But he is not a clown.
All right. So that is in. The campaign is in Burning Sky, and it's about to be midnight. So I'm gonna get out of here. We already had a couple slip out, and I didn't see that, but that's okay. And we'll talk to you guys. I'll send some stuff along the week, but we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, cool.
Later.
Talk to you later, dude.
Later.